So Bruce Jenner has announced that he will be doing a 2-hour interview with Diane Sawyer on ABC's 2020 coming up. The time has been set for 9 p.m. Eastern Time and Pacific, I assume, on 2020 on April 24th. So watch out for that. It's going to be called Bruce Jenner, The Interview.
Friday night, April 24th on ABC.
My whole life has been getting me ready for this.
Bruce Jenner, The Interview. The journey, the decisions, the future. The Diane Sawyer exclusive. Friday, April 24th on ABC.
According to a source, this is cited through Life and Style mag, so take that for what you will. Bruce's primary goal is to bring awareness to the issue, where he's going to finally talk about his transition that a lot of people have been saying is rumored. Some people are sending photos. Recently, I saw a report where they said that he had gotten a breast augmentation. Who knows? We're going to get some answers according to this report that says he will be appearing on Diane Sawyer's interview on the 24th. We're not going to do 5 words or less for this. Let's talk about it. He said that he's going to do this interview. Do you think this is a good idea or a bad idea?
I think people got to know about it. I mean, everyone's talking about it. He needs to get up there and tell him how he's feeling, and all the pain that he's gone through, and just put it to rest, and just, he needs that closure. I think it's really important for him as a person.
Right.
I think that this is a really great opportunity to raise awareness about the transgender community. And so I don't know whether or not this is all true, but it's a good opportunity for him to kind of set the record straight. And at the same time, I actually commend him for choosing the right avenue to release this information. So I was very concerned that he was going to do some reality series about it on E, which I think would make light of a very serious issue.
Right.
And so the fact that he's doing an interview with Diane Sawyer, who is a legitimate journalist, makes me happy. I'm glad that it's going to work out that way. I would prefer for him to talk to us at the Young Turks,
right,
but at least this is not going to be some E Hollywood story where they're kind of, mocking or making light of something that is a serious issue.
Right. There were some reports that this was originally supposed to coincide with the launch of a new docuseries on E. First of all, the term docuseries I think is hilarious, because to say that it feels like it's like not a documentary, it's a series of documentaries. When I think documentary, I think like, oh, this is just how it is.
Right.
And we put some time to make sure that we have the proper narrative. But according to a lot of these reports, Bruce said that he was originally going to do the docuseries, but he hasn't found a production company that's going to tell the story the right way.
Right.
Now, the Kardashian shows are all produced by Ryan Seacrest. And the question is, I think I took this to heart, and I thought that that's a really good decision. Someone who has said, I'm not going to put it past myself to appear on a reality show. Granted, it was about his, stepkids. But to say that he's making this decision, I agree that I think it's right. 2 hours? Do we feel like 2 hours is a good time?
I think that 1 hour would suffice, but if 2 hours makes sense, who knows what he has to tell us? Who knows what his story is? And keep in mind, if this is now something that he is going to be public about, it shows you that everything that he's done in his past was done under the guise of an identity that he didn't really identify with. And I think that that's fascinating. So maybe 2 hours makes sense.
So what do we expect to get out of this? Are you going to watch it first?
I'm 100% going to watch it. I think, talking about what is the story? What is he going to talk about? Is he, how much of that 2 hours is he going to allocate to talking about the transgender community? Is it going to be 30 minutes? Is it going to be 45 minutes? Is it going to be 60 minutes? That's really interesting to me.
Right.
Absolutely.
And to look at this guy's history, this is a world-class athlete. This isn't his first shot in the public eye. He's been in the public eye representing male athletes for a very long time, like OG Wheaties box times, And now, I can't even fathom what that's going to be like.
And look, this goes beyond Bruce Jenner. If this is done appropriately, I think that it could raise awareness about an entire community of people in the country that are disenfranchised. So I think that this is a good opportunity. I'm just hoping that he takes steps carefully and he does it the right way, because, there have been stories in the news lately of transgender people being murdered. A lot of them are physically abused. It's just a terrible, terrible situation. And so something like this, where you have an athlete who was idolized for so long, coming out and saying that he is identifying as a transgendered individual could actually normalize something that shouldn't be discriminated against in the country.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't even know what that process would be like. You know? Especially against the backdrop of like what he has to have been through since, you know, this started being rumored. I mean, when I first heard it, I was like, holy crap, like TMZ is just a bunch of jerks. Like they're trying to find something to poke fun at him for. And the way that they handle it with that like really high pitched voice, his fingernails are painted. What's that about? Like to just go back and think about all those things that seemed like they were just trying to throw mud at him and then say, oh my gosh, now I thought of that as someone trying to defame his character by calling him transgendered. That is a terrible, that's my starting footing. That's where I'm starting from, is to think that calling someone transgender is a way to disparage them. Now I have to completely rework my interpretation of what that means. Now, did anyone watch Transparent? That show?
Not.
There's a show that I think people should watch on Amazon. It's called Transparent. It's Jeffrey Tambor. It won the Emmy. And Jeffrey Tambor plays a dad who is, you know, in his 60s and decides, you know, it's my time to tell my family that I've been living as I'm a woman. And yes, it's a fictionalized account, but like in this moment, we need to find like the proper means to communicate that. But with this Bruce Jenner thing, I just don't know. Like, when I think him, I think Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Like, that's so rough. But, I mean, has anyone watched any interviews with him before to see if he's, like...
I mean, I watched a little bit of Keeping Up with the Kardashians, and he seemed like the sane one out of the entire group of people, right? So I think that he is smart enough to handle this the right way. And, you know, just because he's connected to that show doesn't mean that he has his own personal story to tell. So he's taking the first steps, and I really commend him for doing that. Now, I think that there's a lot of speculation right now because no one really knows what the truth is. He might go on Diane Sawyer, on 2020, talk to Diane Sawyer, and just basically tell her, no, this is all bullshit, I just really like long hair, right? So we have no idea, and I feel uncomfortable speculating, but again, if he does identify with a different gender, then this could be a great opportunity to raise awareness about something.
Right, and what gives me encouragement is like, this is not an E special. This is not the Kardashian wedding to Chris Humphries that we're watching. This is not one of those. They're getting money off of hyping it up. This is like a 2020 special. So, all right, guys, what do you think? Are you going to watch it? What do you think you're going to get when you do watch it? Give us your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. Thank you for being fans of the show. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Pop Trigger.